What breeds foreign investment? Antti and Freedy's father talked to them about their trust fund. He said he wanted to increase their trust's allocation to foreign equities from 15 to 30%, and wondered whether Antti and Freedy knew why U.S. investors were often reluctant to invest in foreign equities, despite their obvious diversification benefits. Antti and Freedy had agreed to study the issue, and to help their thinking, they had brewed nice, frothy cappuccinos using a fancy Italian machine their father had imported.
They are delicious. You know, I could think of a number of rational reasons why U.S. investors might want to be home-biased. Foreign equities have currency risk, and hence more volatility than U.S. equities. The U.S. market is the most efficient market in the world, and transaction costs here are lower than they are elsewhere. Plus, it is very difficult to obtain reliable accounting information on foreign companies. No way! These foreign equities simply are underperforming the U.S. equity market. Besides, I don't feel comfortable having our money invested in unfamiliar companies.
Hey, guys. I happen to have just read some articles about the home bias phenomenon. Let me fill you in. First, currency risk is not what is stopping U.S. investors from investing abroad. Because currency changes show little correlation with local equity markets, they add little to the volatility that the U.S. investors face when investing in foreign equity markets. Moreover, currency volatility can be hedged. Second, arguing that the U.S. market outperforms foreign markets is short-sighted and not even true historically. Third, transaction cost may play a role, but in order to generate the observed portfolio proportions of U.S. investors would have to think that the average returns on foreign stocks were 2 to 4% per annum less than the realized average returns on foreign assets. It may be that these figures represent U.S. investors' perceived transaction costs of foreign investing, but it is unlikely. Moreover, the huge volume of international capital flows is also inconsistent with the transaction cost story, as is the fact that foreign countries are home-biased. Fourth, I do not like the information story. It is easy enough to obtain information on foreign companies or to set up or use local investment managers. However, it may be that the quality of the information and a poor regulatory framework in terms of investor protection and corporate governance keep out U.S. institutional investors. This may explain why foreign companies like to list ADRs and thus can be more easily included in institutional investors' portfolios. Although these indirect barriers are clearly important, they cannot be the full story, given the cross-border flows and home biases in other countries. Clearly, direct barriers play a huge role, and many countries have only recently dismantled these barriers. In fact, there is a trend everywhere toward increased foreign holdings, so maybe investors are slowly adjusting toward rational asset allocation.
Aha! You do not really have a full rational explanation for the phenomenon, do you, Subtle?
Well, you've got a point with that familiarity argument of yours. I just read a few arguments that claim that U.S. investors even bias their domestic investments toward companies that are familiar to them. One study showed that the ownership of the shares of regional telephone companies is dominated by people living in the area served by those companies. Another study showed that U.S. investment managers exhibit a strong performance for firms headquartered within a 500-mile radius of their offices.
Oh well, maybe people don't like foreign investments. But I will surely enjoy having another Italian coffee and Belgian chocolate.
Created using Powtoon.